It's finally here, the end of the week, the last day. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Shaneria and this is Talking Crime. On this channel we do reaction videos, so if you are new here, join the family by subscribing. If you are returning, you know how we like to do it. We like to get into the tea, and today we have another reaction video. Let's get started.
So I didn't find out who my father was until I was 30 years old, and that's no shade to my mom. She had told me when I was younger that there was a chance that the man who I thought was my father wasn't my father. And when I turned 30 years old, I decided to do an ancestry DNA test because I just wanted to know. Things just weren't adding up and I needed some closure. So I did the ancestry DNA test. I waited for the results to come back, and when they came back, it was just as I assumed. I found out that I was Middle Eastern, which I already knew. The man that my mom was dating was Middle Eastern. He was from Iraq, and there was also some Ethiopian and Eritrean that gave me like 10%, and that didn't come from my mom. So I was just like, okay, this is interesting. So when I did the ancestry DNA test, it matched me to a cousin that was an architect, spent half of his time in Dubai, half of his time in Orange County. He reached out to me and let me know that, you know, we had matched and we were connected as like first cousins, right? So he started to talk more and more to me, and we started to realize that his grandmother and my grandmother were sisters. So I was like super excited. I was so happy. Mind you, you guys, I've never seen a picture of my dad. And might I add, by the time I found out who my father was, I did the research to look for him, found out that he was dead, and I got his death certificate from City Hall in San Francisco. So me and my cousin would continue to talk, and he was just helping me kind of put the pieces together. He showed me some pictures of my grandmother and his grandmother sitting together, and obviously I'm very curvy. I saw exactly where I got the curves from, my Middle Eastern grandma. So we started to talk more. He started to tell me about family that I had in LA. So he told me about my aunt. My aunt was or is, I don't know if she still is, a doctor. She was an OBGYN doctor in LA. And he told me about my cousins and things like that. So once I figured out who my aunt was, like he talked to me about it, I had looked her up. I had Googled her. So then I had reached out and called her. And I remember calling, and I think that her husband had answered the phone, and then he gave the phone to her. And when I talked to her, she told me that she was too old to be dealing with things like this. And there was also some statement made that, you know, that my father, her brother, would never have a daughter that looked like me. You know, I was highly offended, and I don't know if it's because I'm mixed with black or whatever the case may be, but it offended me so much. So I was also connected to my...
Definitely because you was black, but maybe not. Did she even know that you had black in you? Like, I don't know. Maybe some people is just feel like it's just too much. I mean, I don't know, but wouldn't you want to know if this person really kin to you or not? That's just crazy and wicked for somebody. Oh, I don't want to deal with this. I'm just too old. What?
Also connected to my aunt's daughter on Ancestry. So her and I had reached out to her, and I told her, you know, like, I don't want anything from my anything from you guys. I just want to know my family. I've never seen a picture of my dad. I don't know what he looks like. Although my mom and him dated, I guess they kind of lost contact, and then he died. So I don't have any pictures of him. I know that
unfortunately, that's the first thing that people think when you reach out to them and be like, oh, I might be kin to you, or I might be your daughter, or I might be a family member. Like, that's the first thing they think, that you want something. But technically, a lot of times they just want to know who they are.
I know that I look like my mom and stuff like that, but I just have never seen him. So I reached out to my cousin, and I was just telling her, like, you know, I just want to know my family. I don't want anything from you guys. I don't really know if there's any health conditions or anything like that, and I just want to know. And she basically was just like, as far as she knows, there's no health conditions that I should be concerned about. And she kind of just left it at that. I reached out to my aunt again, and she basically told me that, you know, her daughter advised her. I don't know if it was that I reached out to her or my cousin did. That was in Dubai. reached out to her, and she said that, her daughter is an attorney, and her daughter advised her that I could be a scammer and that she shouldn't talk to me, and that she's just too old to be dealing with stuff like this.
That could be very much the point, but why not ask for a test? Why not ask for proof before you just assume it's a damn scammer? Like, come on now, you just didn't want to deal with it.
Stuff like this once again. So I kind of stepped back. I was very annoyed. I still continued to do a lot of research because I was just like, there has to be some type of picture somewhere of my dad. I called the facility that he passed away in, and they didn't have any pictures. They said that was very private information. I went to the cemetery. The Muslim cemetery was where he was buried, and looked for him for hours, and I never found him. I spoke to the head of the Muslim cemetery, and he basically told me that if he was able to find him, he would let me know. And then I continued to talk to my cousin, but then my cousin started to become very inappropriate. He was married, and he had made a comment along the lines of, if he would have met me years before, him and I would have dated. And I was just like, no, we would have never dated because I'm your cousin. And he said second cousins, and that really rubbed me the wrong.
Sir, did you literally get on Ancestry to find your family members so you can date them? That is not a fucking dating app. That's an app to find your fucking family. I see why none of them don't want to have nothing to do with anybody. They're ashamed.
Really rubbed me the wrong way, because he would also like go to the gym and like send me pictures of him with his shirt off, and I was just like, this is just so inappropriate. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I started to discontinue that relationship and that communication with him. But I also could tell he had a wife, and his wife, I could tell that, she was bothered. I would be bothered too, because your husband honestly is a piece of crap. But anyway, nonetheless, as I get older, it's just kind of sucks, because I would like to see a picture of my dad, for one. For two, like, my family on my dad's side never even really gave me a chance. Never really gave me a chance. To think that my aunt is a doctor and she would see patients every single day and take the time out to spend time with those people, to diagnose them, to help them, and you don't even have the kindness in your heart to talk to your niece. I just will never understand that. I know she has pictures. I know that there's so much that I don't know, and it just really bothers me. Maybe I don't fit into their box. Maybe maybe they're more conservative. I don't know what the case may be, but it bothers me a lot. Like, I just think about that, like, dang, like, what did I do to you? Like, at the end of the day, I'm just the child. But anyway, y'all, I know that was a long story time. And if you guys have any questions, I can always do a part 2. Okay, bye.
Yeah, that wife should be concerned. Her husband is very creepy. And I guarantee you, she saw them fucking text and was like, what the fuck? I thought this was your cousin. Like, in her mind, she like, this not this motherfucking cousins. This a lie. Then he gonna have a nerve to say we second cousins. Are you okay? Are you cool? You the type of motherfucker that you gotta watch around your own children and stuff. Like, what? Yo, these people in this world could be crazy. And due to them, like, being from somewhere else and, a different race or whatever, like, yeah, some of them folks will never care. They don't care that you just want to know and you the child and all of this. Like, they don't care. If they could do it, they would not even like ever speak to you again. They would block you from everything.
So I didn't find out who my father was until I was 30 years old, part 2. I definitely feel like race. I'm just answering some of the questions that were in the first video. I definitely feel like race is a big issue. I definitely feel like me being mixed with black poses as a problem. Never cared. Definitely proud of who I am, so I don't care about that. Number 2, my cousin was definitely weird. Had to cut that off. I don't believe in kissing cousins. I don't believe in marrying my cousins. I don't give a dang what culture you are. That doesn't fly with me. And somebody had mentioned something about him. Maybe I could find like yearbooks and stuff like that. Well, he wasn't born in the US, so there's that. Somebody else mentioned inheritance. So years ago when I had spoke to my cousin that lives in Dubai, He had mentioned that maybe my aunt didn't want to talk to me because since my dad had passed, maybe me being his only child, there would be some inheritance left to me. To be fair, y'all, I don't want nothing. I want a picture. I don't want no money. I want to know what my father looks like because I've never seen it. If a relationship with the family comes from that, fine. But at the end of the day, just give me a photo. Another thing, I'm not really sure what she meant by my dad would never have a daughter that looks like me, but I'm 100% sure it had to do with race. I'm also I have this impression that her and my dad were not on the best terms. That's what I'm guessing. They may have not been on the best terms. So that could be another reason why she is the way that she is. Don't know. I'm constantly checking her face. I check her Facebook from time to time, and there's no pictures of my dad on there. And I have an aunt that lives in Iraq, and I went on her page, but because she doesn't live in the US and I don't really know how much English she speaks, I haven't really reached out to her. However, I did send, I used ChatGPT to translate a message to her in Arabic. So alongside with a picture, maybe she'll respond. Maybe I'll get a better result from her. I don't really know. I don't know, y'all. Ancestry is very helpful, y'all, but the problem is Ancestry DNA did not have any pictures of my dad. Okay, I called the DMV. I was not able to get like an old DMV picture of him. It just wasn't provided to me between the care facility that he died in. So I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to get the picture from, but honestly, she could give me the picture and I could go about my business. I appreciate you guys for the outpour of love on this video. And yeah, y'all, it's just been a whirlwind. But at almost 40 years old, I just want to know what the man looks like, okay? I'm not expecting y'all to be my best friend. I'm not expecting you guys to love me or none of those things. But yeah. Also, another thing, a lot of my family was not born in the U.S. on my dad's side. They were born in Iraq, so it makes things a little bit difficult when it comes to, like, finding pictures on Ancestry. Like, I haven't been able to do that. Luckily enough, when it connected me to my cousin Sarah, when I was connected to her, I looked her up on Facebook, and then I was able to find my Aunt Haifa, which is her mother. So, and then when I went on my Aunt Haifa's page, I was able to find my other Aunt Ragda that lives in Iraq still. So, I mean, Ancestry was helpful in that regard, but there's no pictures on Ancestry for me to really go off of. Anyway, yeah, if y'all have any more questions, bring them on. I will answer them. Thank you.
I can't imagine passing away and nobody has pictures of me on their social media. Nobody remembers me by posting stuff on the day I passed, my birthday, like nothing whatsoever. Like, it's hard to find me in the graveyard. Like, it's like I never walked this freaking earth. It's crazy. And I don't know if her dad knew about her or not, but it's said that his family is acting the way they acting. Well, all they got to do is give her a DNA test and a picture. Or maybe she probably settled for just a picture. She want to see how her biological father looked. She want to see how the man that helped create her look, and do she favor him. And I feel like that's not asking for too much. I don't know why people make it seem like it's just too much to ask for. And I don't care what country, state, city they in. Like, you're a human. You're a human. You should put yourself in another person's shoes and be like, oh, I would want to know where I come from. Or like, I wouldn't want, nobody to treat my children like this if I leave this earth. Like, what do you mean my brother would not have a child that looked like you? Because when I look at her, you can't really, to me personally, tell that she's black, that she has any black in her. So, like, how do these fucking people look? Like, how do they look to know that she's, like, mixed with a different race? Like, I'm just saying, she don't look like she mixed with a different race to me. But that is cruel. And I feel like maybe it is about inheritance. Maybe he did leave something behind that they don't want her to get. Like, Why do the auntie feel the need to reach out to her lawyer daughter and ask her lawyer daughter, and her lawyer daughter telling her it's not best of interest, she might be a scammer? A scammer? So it might be inheritance. It might be. And that's why a lot of people act the fucking way they do. It's inheritance involved. That's what it is. But she don't want the inheritance. She's just telling y'all she wants to know her family history, far as like sickness, like illnesses, and you know how her father look, and she that's all she asking for. What is so hard about that? Like, that's crazy. Y'all, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Do you think that the family is wrong? We already know that the cousin is fucking disgusting as hell. Do you think the auntie is wrong? Do you think the other auntie will reach out? Do you even think that the auntie daughters or whatever is wrong? Like, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Don't forget to like, comment. If you are new here, definitely subscribe and join the family. If you are returning, you know how we like to do it. I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.